It's live from quarantine. It's Saturday Night Live Vivian, starring Vivian Taormina, musical guest Vivian Taormina, and your host Vivian Taormina. Saturday Night Live, people. What's happening? Holy smoke. So I am rushing, if you will, to fulfill an order of these roll-ons that I custom blend as a clinical aromatherapist. And this blend is called Solatium. And Solatium was clinically blended for comfort and solace. And somebody ordered 4 of these. And I can imagine they might be giving them to other people because these roll-ons last a really long time. And this blend was created, hey Kathy, this blend was created out of a need at one time. Comfort and solace, originally created for also grief and bereavement, but that's if you're grieving or having kind of or bereaving, you need comfort and solace. So people could be grieving right now, grieving a loss of their normalcy of life. They could be bereaving people who have passed. So maybe I have no idea what the use is. The person who purchased this, I don't know who they are, but I'm happy to make them and get them to them. And I love this blend because there's biblical oils in it. And there's something about these really old world oils, I think, that really spoke to me to make this blend. And I think that's what people, when you have an aromatic experience, it actually changes your brain chemistry. You're able to inhale and it immediately changes your emotional state. And that's why aromatherapy actually works. So I can't wait to get these to her, the Solatium roll-ons for comfort and solace. And just speaking of like smells again, I was thinking today, what is one spice, and anybody's watching, I'd love for you just to like chat in a little bit. What do you think one spice is you wouldn't be able to live without? If you only got to choose one, outside of salt and pepper. And if you guys don't want to chime in there, maybe you can DM me and I can see it at the same time. I can tell you what mine would be, and it might change. I think in a former life, I was definitely from Central or South America or from India, because I love the kind of Mexican Central America kind of South America spices, as well as I love Indian food, Indian cooking. But I really have been enjoying Chipotle. So I think I wouldn't want to live without Chipotle because it's like sweet and spicy. So that's my favorite. And then I thought, if you could choose one thing to sustain yourself on, what would it be? Now that one thing would sustain you. So forget about your basic needs like food, water, shelter. If you could choose one thing that you could live on for the rest of your life, what would it be? Would it be food? Would it be sex? Would it be music? Would it be nature? Would it be exercise? This one thing would give you everything that you needed to sustain your life. Curious as to what it would be. And so that question came out of what spice couldn't you live without? So I'm just curious. If you guys watch later, drop a comment. Let me know what spice you can't live without. And if you want to, let me know what is the one thing that you think, if you could choose one thing to sustain you for the rest of your life, what would it be? Just one. I don't have an answer to that yet myself, but I do have the spice answer. It's Chipotle. So that's me coming to you live, Saturday Night Live, Vivian. It's a little earlier than they would go on. What time does that show start? 12:30? Is everybody watching was it Global Citizen? There's a big live concert that's going on right now. And I know I'm like hard, stiff competition against that. Anyway, I'm making my roll-ons. I'm packing up product, and I'll show you something super fun. Is I have to be really careful when I put this little shrink band on. These are super fun because then I can't curl the label. Just when I think it's ending, I always have something else to say, right? So I have to slide that on, but I can't curl the label at the end. The little edges could get curled. But this is my favorite spot, this part. I take my crazy heat gun. I really can't do this while holding it, but maybe here, maybe, can you see that? I'll tilt it down just a little bit. Meanwhile, I have this gun like pointing to my head. Like, this is a crazy heat gun. It's very hot. It's actually a paint stripper. Let me see if I can just lower that down there. Okay, cool. My camera doesn't fall. But this is how we seal products on the on a very, like, you know, on the I like to have the seam that you tip. I'm not good at this live business when it comes to my phone. I know it makes it much harder for people to watch as well. Well, anyway, I like to put the seam in the back because it makes it much nicer so the label is up the front. Let me see if I can just hold the phone like this and you guys can see it, what happens. Shrink wrap. I don't burn my arm on the other side of this thing. So it's just gonna, when this heats up, you're gonna see it shrink. I love that. And then it seals the product. It makes it shelf ready and looks really nice. And you can do this with a hair dryer, but it's really easy with my heat gun. And then there we have it, a little product all ready to go, sealed so nobody can open it. And I call that shelf ready. Salatium for comfort and solace. 3 biblical oils: cypress, ginger, and frankincense. Biblical, why? Because they've been around since biblical times. And also patchouli and rosemary. Rosemary's actually been around for a while too. So, all right, that really wraps up Saturday Night Live, Vivian. Please let me know, #1 spice you would not be able to live without, and if you could sustain yourself on one thing, only one thing outside of basic needs, that this thing gives you everything, gives you all bits of life that you need, what would that one thing be? Sex, art, music, food, nature, the ocean, trees, flowers, bees. What would it be? I'm just curious. All right, you guys, have a great night.